So I just binge watched like 6 episodes of the Squid Games. Let me tell you, dude, you gotta watch it. I didn't expect to cry, but I did. That marble episode, dude, my god. I'll give the basic gist of the show. This really isn't spoiling much, but essentially, you play games, you lose, you die. I'd rather do that than 1v1 a giant squid. These things are absolutely insane, dude. Oh, and before we get into the squid thing, can we talk about something? This woman, oh my god. Does anyone else just want to throw themselves off a bridge after listening to her? She is the most annoying character I have ever seen in any sort of film. Every time she talks, I just want to run out of the room. I want to take my headphones off. I'd rather sleep in a warehouse full of vibrating styrofoam than listen to her talk for 1 more hour. I'd rather have mosquitoes taped to my ears for the rest of my life than to listen to her for 1 more episode. Please, I hope they throw her in the water with an actual squid, a giant squid. They did a great job with that character. You know, you're supposed to make hateable characters in cinematography. They did it. They fucking did it, dude. Anyways, sorry about that. A giant squid. So, these things are terrifying, dude. If you think you'd rather 1v1 a giant squid versus the Squid Games, you're just ignorant. You're not all right in the head. You haven't done your research. They can grow up to 66 feet long, and that's just an estimate. They don't even know if that's true. They could be bigger. They could be finding babies. Maybe the actual Kraken's down there producing these things. They haven't found a ton of these things. Like, they just recently got this thing on video for the first time. Dude, its eye is the size of a basketball. A basketball. That's bigger than my head. My head's not that big, mind you, but an eyeball, dude? What? It's got 3 hearts. Wish I had 3 hearts, dude. I've been having like palpitations and shit, scaring the hell out of me. I wouldn't be that scared if I had 2 more. It has 1 more heart than we have kidneys. That's bullshit, man. Oh yeah, so it's got this thing that's kind of like a tongue. I don't know why they don't call it a tongue, because if you ask me, it's a tongue. But it's got teeth on it. Its tongue has teeth. Why? Oh yeah, and it's got a beak that puts a shoebill stork to shame, dude. It's terrifying. It's not even that big, necessarily. Compared to its size, it's not that big. But my god, dude. Imagine seeing that thing. Because, by the way, if you were getting attacked by that, you probably would be seeing it. Because for some reason, squids, they don't go the direction you'd think they would. When they move around, they don't go, like, head first. They go tail first. Which is way more terrifying, by the way. What would you rather see? This coming at you, or that coming at you? And they're pretty fast, too. If the giant squid was smaller, it'd probably be a little bit faster. Because, you know, some of the small squids can go like 25 miles per hour, which by the way is faster than Usain Bolt can run. But the giant squid can go 15 miles per hour, they think. Like I said, we don't really know too much about these things, but yeah, 15 miles per hour underwater when you're 66 feet long, that's impressive. And they do it by basically taking water into their body and pushing it out, kind of like some sort of aquatic Kirby. There's actually some squids that can go invisible, which, if you ask me, it's a load of horseshit, because basically they're saying, oh, it can change its color to a slight red. And when you're in the deep sea, there's no light getting through there. And they can't see red in the deep sea. It's like, wait, what? Isn't it completely pitch dark down there anyways? Isn't everything invisible unless it has like bioluminescence? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I still call horseshit though. So you've heard of the flying fish, right? Have you heard of the flying squid? So much like an octopus, they have 8 tentacles. Well, technically it's not a tentacle, it's an arm. There's a technicality here. Basically, a tentacle's got suckers on the end of it, and an arm has suckers along the whole thing. And I didn't just make up the word suckers either. That's actually the legitimate scientific term. They call them suckers. Oh, and by the way, these suckers are horrifying, dude. Look at these artistic descriptions of them. Look at them close up. They're horrifying. Remember how I said the giant squid got like teeth in their tongue? They got a beak that could destroy a shoebill stork. They got, you know, these things can take on great white sharks. Well, to top it off, their suckers are serrated. So if they can take on a great white shark, you're a fucking midnight snack, dude. You might as well be a little thing of gummies in a child's lunchbox, dude. You're not winning. So apparently squid blood is blue. And no, if you think our blood's blue when it's deoxygenate, this... Our blood's never blue, okay? Never a thing. Never gonna happen, not a thing. Maybe if you dyed it, probably not a good idea. But basically, squid blood is blue because they got this copper material in their blood. It's called hemocyanin. Hemocyanin. I think that's it. I don't know. But basically, our blood is red due to hemoglobin. It's copper based. Ours is iron based. That changes the color. Oh, and apparently, squid ink contains dopamine. Thinking what I'm thinking, huh? Maybe a little. Just saying. Anyone tried it? Let me know. Hit me up. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Except for caffeine. Caffeine's good. In small doses. So when it comes to the evolution of these things, it's kind of wacky all throughout because, well, for starters, they don't know much about it. A couple reasons is A, the big one, there's not a lot of fossils for these things. They're all soft and squishy, and that type of stuff doesn't usually fossilize pretty well, and that's how they figure out most evolution of things, because they're basically like, Yep, that's old. That looks like that thing. Another reason is they don't think these things have evolved that much because they haven't needed to. These things are just absolute units. They can take on a fucking great white shark, dude. So there's one thing that they figured out that squids and other squid-like creatures can do, and it's they can edit their own RNA. What does that mean? I don't really know, man. You can look it up yourself. That sounds insane to me. Why can't we do that? Why can't we just be like, hey, let's edit our teeth so they don't just fall out and we have to get dentures or something, or let's give this guy 6 more inches or something. I'm just saying, that'd be cool. But scientists aren't really sure. They don't really know. They're not 100% on any of this. So, if you ask me, they're aliens. That's way cooler. And honestly, it makes a lot more sense to me than all this other RNA bullshit. So, what am I gonna rate these things on the reincarnation scale? Well, we're just gonna assume we're talking about the giant squid here. I wouldn't want to be one of those baby bitch squids that live like 6 months. They don't really know how long these giant squid live because they're just so elusive. They live in the deep sea, right? And they're massive. It's kind of funny how we haven't seen more of them. We just recently got it on film for the first time. Like, for all we know, these things are babies and there's a kraken down there just pumping them out, you know? You gotta imagine that these things are at least 5 to 10 years old. You know, it's growing 66 feet long. I hope to God it's that old. Dude, imagine if that was a baby. I don't want to know what it came out of. That would be fucking horrifying. I mean, I gotta give these things like a 90 to 95, bro. They're good. They're some good animals. They haven't evolved that much for a reason. They're massive. They're tanks. They can take out a great white shark. They get eaten by sperm whales, but who cares about them? They got a funny name. And they've eluded us all these years. We didn't even know they existed until recently. They have a literal folklore with them, you know? People created this thing called the kraken, like a giant octopus thing, and it was just a squid. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 90 to 95. Also, don't spoil any of the show in the comments. Talk about how cool it is. That's it. Peace out.